This podcast is a member of the Voices of Wrestling podcasting network. Visit voicesofwrestling.com to hear the rest of our great podcasts, as well as show reviews, columns, opinions, and updates across the world of wrestling.
I'm Mike, and with me as always is Rex. What's up, Rex?
Nothing much, man. I'm just cracking up because, actually, I'm cracking up for a separate reason than you think. I was actually, it's pretty funny, you know how we were talking about Doug Furnas the other week?
Sure.
And you were like, oh, he should be the world's strongest, go by that title. It was funny, I was actually listening to these, this round table with a bunch of world-class powerlifters, and they were sitting there going, yeah, Doug Furnas should have been the greatest powerlifter of all time if he gave a shit about powerlifting. He said if he dedicated himself even a bit more, then he would have been the greatest of all time above what he was. It just cracked me up. I was like, hey, I was just talking about Doug Furnas the other day.
Yeah, as it can be said, at least he wasn't the shittiest world's strongest man in wrestling.
Oh, Caswire.
Yes.
Hey,
You knew
to
it.
Furnas' credit, he does have a 5-star match under his belt. Granted, that match involves Kenta Kobashi, but...
Well, this was probably a little bit before your time, but largely kind of based off their stint in All Japan and everything, Furnas and LaFon were kind of treated, on the internet at least, as like this big deal whenever they finally came back over to America as a team.
And then they bombed out.
And then they bombed out in WWF and in ECW.
Yep.
So, yeah. People on the internet are weird sometimes.
No, it's like... It just reminds me of the whole Tensai situation.
Oh, I'm reading the news here before we get into everything, and just Global Force needs to shut their doors now.
Uh-oh.
With the big news that TNA has re-signed to a multi-year contract. Robbie.
Uh-oh. Oh, okay. I thought you were about to say they had re-signed with Spike, and I was like, oh, shit. But yeah. Yep, Robbie.
Now,
And it was someone else, too. I think Gunner, right?
They signed Storm a few days ago.
And they signed Gunner, too.
Did they?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sure Jarrett's sitting there. What are we going to do now that we can't get Gunner?
I don't know. Maybe they can poach Magnus, in all honesty. And possibly try and give him a decent shot.
Well, they couldn't do much worse.
No.
But we'll get into that in a second.
You know what? I want to give Gunner some credit. Gunner's actually been all right of late. He's been better than I was expecting to ever see out of him.
Oh. And other kind of really breaking news, I mean, it had been reported that, Sting had been sent his contract that he might not sign yet. Mm-hmm. But I'm just reading here from someone who was watching the Warrior retrospective thing that's on the network right now. We're recording this on Tuesday night. And he's using, they interviewed him for it, so.
What?
Yeah.
Wow. Is it an actual interview with him, or is it old footage they might own the rights to?
Well, this comes from a comment on Cage Side Seats, something that was just made about 5 minutes ago. It's like, holy shit, it's Sting, 2014 Grandpa Sting, not old footage, on this Warrior retrospective thing on the network.
Okay, I guess that answers the question. Hey, what do you know? Although that is not a sign that he is signed, because they brought in Vince Russo to do stuff for Countdown.
Yeah, but it's
and for the Monday Night Wars stuff. But yeah, all right, that's cool. Whatever.
I think given all the other stuff, it's probably a good sign that he signed.
Yeah. Here's hoping I just don't have to watch him wrestle. I could even deal with like Sting authority figure.
I don't think that'd be a terrible role for him, you know. Although,
There's
like,
others I'd rather see, but I
sure,
just wonder, like, when we sit here and think of Sting authority figure, how does he fit into what they're doing now? Is what maybe sometime down the road? But if like right now, where does that fit in?
yeah, with the whole authority thing, I'm not real sure because at least with like, since theoretically he would be replacing Vicky, who I guess was finishing up this week. They'd reported it was last week, but I guess she agreed to kind of stay on, so I assume she'll wrap up tonight at the SmackDown tapings from kind of everything that's been said. Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
but yeah, in his current character, unless they just make him like this smarmy, you know, new
Oh, holy
authority
shit.
heel
Holy shit. Ultimate Warrior is dead. Guess who Sting's gonna come in as? An
later.
Ultimate Warrior ripoff. Ultimate Sting.
See, now, speaking of Ultimate Warrior and kind of rip off, homage, whatever, after watching a fairly terrible Mojo Rawley match on last week's NXT, why not just give him Warriors Press Slam and Big Splash? Let him start doing it as homage and then just let him keep it because it's far better than the ass-based stuff.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing with him. I love me some Mojo. I'll be the first one to admit that. I think the dude has so much potential, and he's got the one thing that you can't really teach. You can't teach charisma. And he's getting super over with a very, very smarky crowd that generally goes to NXT with shitty in-ring capabilities right now and very green and annoying ass-based offense. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe they're just waiting one day to unleash it all and shock us all. Like, keep our expectations so low, then all of a sudden, boom. Here's Mojo Rawley busting out tiger suplexes.
Newest member of Evolution.
uh,
Could that be our segue into Raw?
yeah, yeah,
And
that should be.
that was a bad Raw.
Um, I'm gonna kind of disagree with you.
I don't know how, but you always find a way.
One, 3MB was in the main event of Raw. Two, I thought the action, like in-ring action, was good throughout the night. I mean,
See, that's kind of where I don't necessarily think it was bad, but like save the Divas match, there was nothing that I had higher expectations for some of the matches than what I actually got. Things like Swagger and Sheamus, I thought they might have enough chemistry together to pull out something, and it was bland.
see, I actually kind of enjoyed their tilt a little bit. And I think part of the problem was that these matches on a normal Raw would have gotten more time, but they had to get all the Ultimate Warrior stuff in. I think that was the my problem with the Raw is that it felt very all the stuff a lot of it felt rushed.
Some extent, and that that goddamn Cena promo.
You know what was sad? You know what was sad about it though was the reaction I got. People loved it. You know that's gonna happen. That kind of stuff from Cena doesn't bother me anymore. Was that when he got actually down to seriousness? It actually was a half decent. If you divide it into two separate promos, there's a decent promo there, and then there's a really bad promo. But Wyatt got to come back with his great responses, and
Yeah, I don't think it's something where, I've seen people throw, and God knows it's the internet, so they do it a lot. I've seen people throw the Barry word around.
I want to bury buried.
And obviously, I mean, I don't think it's really going to hurt Wyatt's character going forward, that he's a strong enough character that I think he'll be fine. It was still very much a question of why fucking do that.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I said, I don't think his character will be hurt in the long run. I don't think it's going to be a memorable
Oh yeah.
promo in the long run. But it's still very much a question of why the fuck do you do that?
I don't know. Maybe they are trying to play it the long game. Let Wyatt go out there and continue to sort of say that this sort of Cena is just his default scared position. I don't know. It was Alabama. So I don't know. Play to the lowest common denominator. I don't know about you though. I'd adopt little baby Rowan.
Well, yeah, look at the facial hair as a baby.
I
Just
know.
imagine that extrapolated. I mean, that's gonna be
The manliest man of all time.
exactly.
But I will say, holy shit, did Bray go out there and cut a hell of a promo.
Yes.
Even in his response, even before his response, which I thought was marvelous. Everything out there. God damn it, this man is just a genius. And I've said it before, but holy shit, if he keeps up this kind of pace, greatest mic worker of all time, greatest promo of all time. Now, it's a big if to see can he sustain brilliance like that for so long. But holy shit, man. Good work. Good stuff all around.
I think the fact that he gets to write his own helps him there.
Oh, yeah. He's been given a lot of juicy stuff to sink his teeth into. I mean,
Speaking
Daniel Bryan, The Shield, Cena, those are very great topics.
speaking of WWE stuff, and because as I said, I really did not like Raw. I've watched a little bit of.
Tournament. It had a tournament. Your
It
point
did,
is
but it
invalid.
did not.
Your point is
Nothing on the
invalid.
tournament was good so far. But that Sheamus Cesaro
So,
finals is gonna be awesome.
so you got to see Cesaro neutralize Henry.
Yeah, but I saw him do it to the Big Show on SmackDown, so it's less.
Just no. Uh, but I will say, um,
But Heyman being added to the Cesaro package, it showed a little bit more on SmackDown than it did on Raw. But God, I mean, just on SmackDown, there was a situation where Big Show was kind of overwhelming Cesaro. Cesaro dumped to the outside, and Heyman was doing commentary while giving him like managerial advice.
yeah, it was awesome.
Now, Cena's promo on SmackDown was terrible, but
Yeah, I will say though, let's talk to some good here. Damn, that was a good Divas match.
yes. And I feel like after we spent, when was it? Was it the rest? Yeah, it was the WrestleMania episode, talking about how Alicia Fox still has potential, and then she comes out there and does that.
She fulfills the potential. Oh man, we can get more of that, Alicia Fox. It's
Unless,
amazing what
am I
you can
face
do
or
with
heel
some of
this
these.
week, Alicia Fox?
uh, yeah, I'm kind of disappointed though that it's going to be Paige to Mina at Extreme Rules.
Oh, did she win the thing on main event?
Yep,
I didn't watch main event.
I haven't watched it either. I still got to watch last week's, and apparently I missed out on a hell of a match.
I haven't either. And yeah, we're here hosting a wrestling show. We should be embarrassed.
Yeah, we should. But we had so much great WrestleMania 3 matches to get through.
Well, we have so many, I don't necessarily know about great.
Z-Man.
It's like the anti NWA shows at the time. We get mad at, we got mad at the Samoans and Rich and Rotunda going 20 minutes on Capital Combat. This is like the exact opposite problem.
Everyone just not getting any time to get things going.
And like even the good matchups, obviously save the one big one, are all like there are these overbooked aspects about it that I think hurt it. But we'll get there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we will. But of course, the best news of the night and what made Raw so fantastic. Okay, I won't say it was so fantastic, but you know, Evolution's back, baby. They're back. Boom, boom. I know you're so excited.
Oh, absolutely. I yearn for the days of 2005 where they cut 30-minute promos and beat everybody down every week.
Oh, that beatdown was great. Yeah, but how great? Let's be honest. How great is that match, a 6-man tag between Evolution and the Shield, gonna be?
Should be pretty good. Just
Yeah.
I would say just keep Batista out of it, but I do have to say that I've seen a little bit of people that would definitely disagree with me. I actually really liked his sell of the Superman punch.
Um, I don't. I don't remember remarking that it was, thinking it was really good. I don't remember thinking it was bad either. I will say he's been stepping up his game and getting back into the swing of things, and I wonder if it is going full time with the roster. I assume he's working house shows, and I wonder if he really is putting a lot of effort into it now that didn't seem to be there when he first came back.
I don't know if it's particularly an effort thing. Maybe it's just ring shape.
Maybe. But
Because I know that he didn't work any house shows basically until Elimination Chamber. Like his first non-Rumble match was the night before.
mm. But yeah, I'm excited to have him back, and I'm excited for the prospects of a fourth member.
Curtis Axel, come on down.
Yeah, because when I think of heels with tons of charisma, I think of Axel.
Of course.
I know you toss this around, and I toss this around a little bit too. I wouldn't mind Cody in that spot.
Yeah, I think that at this stage in Cody's career, and I don't necessarily know if WWE always realizes this kind of thing, but it definitely does kind of seem like, not necessarily this year, but in the next short time, this is kind of a make or break situation for him. If he's ever going to be a top guy, he needs to take that step forward. Now, they have to give him the opportunity to take that step forward, of course, but...
Yeah, and for Rhodes, it's just a shame that his sort of moment where he's really catching on, it's such a crowded at the top right now, especially with how great the Shield face turn has gone. It's just like, oh shit. I mean, sorry, Cody, we wanted. It seems like it's like, where could you fit up in there? Maybe Evolution would be a good thing. I don't know. I think Sheamus would fit well in that role. It'd be good to see Sheamus go back to being a heel.
Well, I definitely don't have any issues with Sheamus going heel. I definitely think his character could use that run. I don't think that being in Evolution does anything for him. I think he's established enough. Particularly considering the entire idea of Evolution was for them to make younger guys. And yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not saying Sheamus is necessarily an old dog, but he is somebody that I think is already made. I think as far as his stealing goes, he was WWE champion, what, 2 times? He's been
I
world
don't
champion a
remember.
number of times. I don't necessarily think there is a much higher ceiling compared to
Yeah.
someone like Cody, who I think does have that.
And honestly, I know it's not going to happen, but my dream is always just Devitt gets slotted into that. I think that'd be a perfect spot for him, especially if the rumored short stay in developmental is, in his contract and whatnot. I don't know. Do you think they go to the main roster, or do you think they might dig someone out of NXT?
I don't know if there is anyone in NXT that would fit that right away.
I mean,
The
give Crow a haircut. He can rock a suit. I've seen him do it.
I I honestly, I think there is something where you need a little bit more size.
I'm trying to think of
The
Cassidy.
that I just don't see. I don't think he's ready in the ring. He's still,
Which is the ideal. I think with this fourth spot, you can bring up someone that's not necessarily ready in the ring, protect him with tag matches, and you get him, whoever this fourth person would be, you get them in a spot where they get to work with a lot of experienced people and get to learn and pick up the craft through house shows, through,
So why not
Raw
your boy
TV.
Mojo?
Because he's got, he's got babyface written all over him. I don't know. I want to stay hyped. All right, I want to stay hyped. And I think Mojo's not at a point. You have to be some sort of point of development. I don't think Mojo's there yet. I think you could take Evolution essentially as what they did with Shield and Reigns. I mean, Reigns was not a very polished worker when Shield debuted. Arguably, still needs more work. But they've put him in a chance to succeed, and I think you can do that with someone from developmental. Who? I don't know.
Come on, we all know the answer. It's Mason Ryan.
Oh, God. One time I hope they just, replace Batista with Mason Ryan for, one episode of Raw. Just to see what would happen. Just shave his head, have him come out, in skinny jeans. See, now I'm trying to think who else is in developmental that could fit that role. Because you're talking about big guys. There's not a ton of big guys in developmental.
Which I think is a large reason why they've been openly talking about, trying to get more former NFL players and more of the big guys.
And wrestling. Apparently they were scouting out a NCAA tournament and talking to guys recently.
Well, given how fast the guys do, what about some of those former wrestlers that they signed from last year that haven't really made the Cal Bishops and the...
Yeah, I think Cal Bishop, but see, it's hard because we don't have enough body of work to look at and say, oh, okay, he could at least slot in there, do well in certain spots, and then let him bring him along. You know who I'd love to kind of see in that role, though?
Who?
Big E.
Huh.
Big E's kind of going through his little D push period that they all seem to do with guys, push them, then kind of just let them drift for a bit to see how they handle it. Maybe he drops the title to Cesaro upcoming. Maybe he keeps it, or maybe that's the onus for him joining Evolution.
He's somebody that kind of like your thing with Mojo. To me, just screams babyface.
Yeah, the problem is that he does if they let his real personality out, and they haven't been doing that. So
They've, bit by bit, they've been letting him loosen up a little bit.
They let him do it in the commercial.
And they let him do it for one of the WrestleMania Today stuff leading up to the show.
Yeah, now that we just need to get it on TV. And hopefully with all the WrestleMania season sort of over, we can get the time to focus on that.
It is kind of a weird thing because there doesn't seem to be this perfect fit.
Mm-hmm.
Which kind of makes it more interesting than just, that's obviously the guy.
Assuming we go with a size as a requirement. Which, I don't know, man. Because I wonder if they sit there and say, let's say they bring in a Devitt, or hell, just for sake of argument, it's not going to happen, but let's say Neville. What if you have Triple H come out and say, oh, look at the success Bryan has with this, smaller speed. We need that in our arsenal. We need that evolution.
See, I can't see them saying that. The only reason I could see them taking a smaller guy is to bump his fucking ass off so Orton and Batista don't have to.
Which is the same, because Orton can bump his ass off.
I'm not saying he couldn't. I'm just saying, protecting your assets.
Yeah. You know who would be fun as hell? God damn it, if they freaking got him away from that Mexican gimmick they have him doing, which seems to be disappearing bit by bit. But Camacho. Granted, I have no idea how old Camacho is.
I like what I've seen from him. I think that he's someone, unless you basically completely change his look, change the name. Admittedly, wrestling fans have pretty short memories, but I don't necessarily think they're that short. I think that you kind of need...
He's 30. That works.
Huh?
And I don't know. I wonder with how much time he's been spending at developmental, if they are ready to sort of rebrand him.
Or they just don't have a use for him, but they don't want to piss his daddy off.
Might run him over with a Toyota.
Just imagine him showing up outside the development center. You fire my boy?
Oh, man.
No, sir, Mr. Ming.
You know who I would have said if he wasn't getting over with bad news is Barrett. And honestly, the perfect guy for it probably would have been Cesaro, but now that he has Heyman, there's no need to throw him in with Evolution.
He would be a pretty dapper man in a suit.
He is a dapper man in a suit. Man.
He's a dapper man in whatever.
How great would it be if it was like Curtis Hawkins and you just hear Zack Ryder in the back, like just doing like the Charlie Brown walk? Like, oh.
They could give to Zack Ryder.
God. Ziggler?
Ziggler is kind of interesting.
But I think the problem is, I mean, do they really know if he's 1 foot in or 1 foot out at this point?
I haven't heard anything about him.
Yeah, I mean, shit. There's a lot of interesting possibilities. So that means they probably won't add a fourth member. But yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited for where everything's going.
Yeah, I really like, one thing I absolutely do not like is Bryan's first challenger.
Yeah, I like it and I dislike it. I like it from a storyline perspective, and I like it from like a continuity perspective. I dislike it because it's probably not going to be a good match. Because the last time, what have they faced off twice now as singles wrestlers, and it has not been good either time.
I can live with a bad match. What kind of, to me, bothers me more is it feels like a very mid-card kind of defense. Let's say they do Shield versus Evolution. There's no way Bryan versus Kane goes on last over it.
I don't know, man. I mean, isn't Triple H one of those guys that's big on the title going last?
Unless he can go last. If the title match goes last, how's Triple H going to go last?
Yeah, but did him and Lesnar go last? And any other stuff?
What was that?
Did him and Lesnar go last?
Extreme Rules.
Did they?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know.
In fact, I honestly don't even know if it goes over the Cena Wyatt rematch.
Oh, it will. I don't think we won't see Daniel Bryan Kane end the show. Especially with only one title. But I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah, and God, that's going to be a rough match. Particularly if they give it any kind of time.
Yeah, let's hope. Well, they'll be able to cover it up with some type of gimmick.
I was going to say with Bryan selling his ass off, but...
Well, that too. And we'll see. We'll see. But at least we don't have to watch the New Age Outlaws wrestle.
Until the decision they're just too hot to take off TV. Alright, anything else from Raw?
I don't know. Was there anything else that merits discussion?
It's pretty much merited.
Baxel won.
It's pretty much like a given at this point that Cesaro versus Sheamus is going to be that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to it. I hope they give it time. It's going to be
But
good
then
quality
again,
house fight.
going into it, I thought it was going to be for sure Cesaro versus Swagger with that feud kind of built in, you know? But then they had Swagger lose in the first round.
Yeah, yeah, and apparently it's not in the books according to leaked scripts for Swagger to somehow screw Cesaro out of the shot.
And then they do it.
Okay.
Because Vince likes to troll.
Yeah, that is true. But Vince is apparently taking more steps back than previously thought.
Yeah, I mean, the stuff on WrestleMania is that him leaving the show wasn't that, because he wasn't really
Impactful.
running the show.
Yeah. And it was a great show.
Yeah.
Triple H, greatest booker of all time.
No. We're about to talk about the greatest booker of all time. Vincent fucking Russo.
Yeah, boy. Ugh. Shit.
You just made yourself sad.
Yeah. Oh, TNA.
So, kind of as we mentioned last week, because we're recording part of it like the night of the show, and news had kind of gotten through, obviously. But Magnus is officially the limpest dick champion in history.
Yep. Oh, I know what we forgot to talk about. Rusev being awesome, but, Oh, shit. Oh, here's one guy I didn't think about. Sorry, we're going back to Evolution talk. Fuck Eric Young. Sandow.
Huh. That would be an interesting.
I know he's got the same pardon the expression here, but he's got the same pedigree as Triple H. He's got the size. He's got the smarminess you could want for. He looks damn good in a suit.
I don't know if there's a perfect analog, and maybe this is as close as we're going to get, but I've kind of felt the way for a while. The way to rehabilitate the character was to kind of let him come out of the gimmick quite a bit. Like they kind of had to do for Triple H with DX. How he was no longer the blue blood, he was just... Because I do kind of think those gimmicks have a very particular ceiling, and obviously, and even before that, I mean, it's not necessarily like WWE was that serious about pushing him.
An Evolution would be a nice way to kickstart that.
Yep.
All right. Let's talk to Eric Young
and see, I was agreeing with you, and you just go immediately to change topics.
Well, because that's boring. No one wants to hear us agree, unless we're shitting on TNA.
Which, don't get us wrong, I can't speak for you except for the conversations we had. I like Eric Young. I do too. He's a very entertaining,
persona.
Yes. But if you wanted to kind of position him for like a one last run kind of situation where he got to the title, that wouldn't necessarily be bad, but this was just so hot shot.
Yeah, and people out there that want to say they're not copying WWE, come on now.
Even I'd say more inspired than copied, but it's fucking pointless.
Yeah, not necessarily copied per se, but trying to take advantage of, free riding on. Yeah, and it just amazes me that we're getting, I mentioned it last week, we're getting an Eric Young run, but we never got the Chris Daniels run we should have.
And that is something that, particularly given TNA's kind of situation, that is something that never really makes sense. Why
Yeah,
not
and
let Christopher Daniels have a shot?
yep, yep. I mean, you were paying him enough money. What I do wonder now is, where do they go from here?
He loses the title at Sacrifice.
To
Back to Magnus.
uh,
Does it make sense? No. Does it really help Magnus going forward? No. Does it help Eric Young? No. Does it, so it obviously is the route that TNA is going to take.
yeah. Shit. I mean, they've botched the Wolves.
Speaking of
I
the
just
Wolves, what the fuck was with your hair, Davey Richards?
God.
That is a
Oh my!
terrible haircut.
It's a terrible haircut for a terrible human being. I don't know. I felt like it was the most Davey Richards thing ever. Just like it was like douchey personified.
It's blonde fake mohawk.
Yes.
But not even
Yes.
really a faux hawk, just this half-assed mohawk.
Yeah, I don't even know how to describe it.
I just described it, so you don't have to.
Okay, dick.
I'm trying to help. You just try to hurt.
Yep.
Why you gotta be so mean?
Yeah. Because I do. Because evolution is a mystery, alright?
I'm pretty sure it's not Jim Johnston, but okay.
Wait, are you giving Jim Johnson credit for composing that?
Did he write the lyrics and then just have Motorhead?
Did he?
I believe that's the way that they did it.
Well, I time to look this up because now it's gonna bug me. I can't find anything.
I know that's the way it was for like the game.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't know that. Huh. Who knows? Oh yeah, okay. Composed by Jim Johnson, unless noted. All right then.
They had a non-Motorhead theme?
Who?
Evolution.
They did?
I guess.
When?
According to this, I mean, admittedly this is off Wikipedia, so from February to June of 2003.
What was it?
Just called Evolve.
Huh. Weird. I don't remember that.
Me neither.
All right then.
Yes.
Was there anything else on TNA worth noting?
Angelina Love is the new #1 contender for the Knockouts.
I said worth noting.
Not really.
That just seems like just a disaster waiting to happen. TNA, that is, as a whole, not just Angelina Love. Like, you can only bring in certain guys for tapings and yada yada, and they just need to blow up the whole thing and try and start over.
Well, I mean, as far as things that, apparently Austin Aries finished up with the company at the Extravaganza.
Did he?
Taping, yep. Oh,
Huh.
you got kind of news from that too. Rumor has it that that one Mr. Low Key has re-signed with the company.
Oh yeah, because that's what TNA needs. It's low key in their fucking locker room.
Absolutely.
Jesus Christ. Is he going by low key or is he going by?
As per the tapings where, I guess people that really give a shit about tape TNA spoilers don't listen, but where he won an X Division title shot, he went by Loki.
Huh. I don't even know who the X Division champ is right now.
Sonata still.
Is it still Sonata?
Yeah.
All right.
Amazingly.
I forgot he had even won it. Like they show so little and deal with so little of the fucking X Division right now. I don't know what they're doing.
Well, it seemed like they were doing something with him and Tigre Uno, but then,
Kind of just fell by the wayside.
well, yeah, I mean, you only have so many hours of the day, and you have to spend half of your show with like Rockstar Spud Willow sketches. So,
Oh God. Yeah. Maybe Willow will win the TNA title.
the alter ego of Jeff Hardy.
Yeah. God damn it, TNA.
Which was pretty much explained for no reason at all other than Jeff Hardy's kind of a weirdo.
You know,
Or is
sometimes,
that really the only explanation needed?
yeah, it's kind of, one of those things where the truth just is better than fiction. I mean, is there any reasonable explanation they could come up with?
Uh, he's really into trees.
Freaking TNA, man. I want good, positive vibes, but nope. Nope, nope. Nope, nope, nope.
Well, you're just a Vince fanboy.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Uh,
Anybody who doesn't get that, over the weekend on one of the sites that we're both at, there was a very specific TNA troll, and anybody who debated him at all was a Vince fanboy.
yes. Yes. I actually got called that by another guy too in a debate about the wellness policy that I refuse to ever criticize WWE,
Yes, we
which we
never.
all know is false.
Well, I criticize, you don't.
I'll criticize WWE. So of course I had to link up to my article about, WWE and whitewashing history of homosexuality because, I never criticized WWE or anything.
No, you never do.
Nope.
Stop
Unless
running from it.
until WWE becomes synonymous with Triple H, of course.
Yes, Triple H is your favorite wrestler.
Oh man, for a time being, he was. He was. I got no bones saying that.
Should.
Oh, come on.
Should. That's embarrassing.
Oh, he's Harley Race's favorite wrestler.
Whenever Harley Race needs WWE money. He was he was Ric Flair's favorite too whenever Flair was under contract a while back. Funny how that works.
Oh, come on. 99 and 2001, of course he was my favorite wrestler.
It's almost like old wrestlers are still carnies.
Man. Well, when we start our own promotion, can it be Carney Professional Wrestling? Or just Carney Wrestling?
Too inside, man.
Nah, fuck that. It's great. We'll just call it Carnival Professional Wrestling, and we'll have, like, carnival acts in between matches.
Main eventer, a guy in a doing suit in 2014. Speaking of doink, which I know
Yeah.
is a weird segue, but
Yes, it is.
the newest, as of now, the newest ECW episode on the network
Uh-huh.
is a pretty big one.
Is it Doink's debut?
It is Doink's debut as well as the main event of Shane Douglas versus Too Cold Scorpio in a match for some title.
Oh. Oh.
So yeah, as I said, kind of a big show.
Yeah. Man, his run in ECW was so great.
And now people get to go through it.
Yep. Yep.
Should we talk WrestleMania 3?
Yes, let's do it.
All right.
Take a quick break.
Yeah, we're going to take a break and we'll be right back.
Later.
You see, life is greatness, and greatness is what you make out of it, you understand?
Hey everybody, it's Mike and Rex from Off the Top Rope. We wanted to take this break to let you know all the ways you can interact with the show and all the ways you can listen to the show. You can get links to everything we talk about here from our website, which is offthetoprope, one word, .libsyn. That's LIBSYN.com.
If you want to email the show, it's topropepodcast@gmail.com. We'll read your comments on the air, so let us know what you think.
To follow us on Twitter, we're at Top Rope Podcast. We tweet show updates, post the show as soon as it's up, retweet news from around the world of wrestling, and sometimes it's just random wrestling thoughts by yours truly. All wrestling talk, all the time on Twitter.
You can now like us on Facebook at facebook.com/topropepodcast. This is still new, but we're going to be working on adding pictures, links, and all kinds of good stuff.
You can follow us on Tumblr at topropepodcast.tumblr.com. There we post matches of the day, wrestlers of the day. We try and update those just about every day. We add random photos, lots of fun stuff. Now if you want to listen to us, you can listen to us through an RSS reader. If you want to listen to the show through an Android app like Dogcatcher, Linux program like Rhythmbox, or a Windows program like Media Monkey, among many others, this is the way you do it. You'll make sure the episodes are delivered to you just as soon as they're uploaded.
If you're on iTunes, we're available there too. Just do a search for Off the Top Rope. Look for our logo, subscribe, give us a good review.
We're also available on Stitcher. Just search Off the Top Rope or Pro Wrestling. Either way, we're right there on the front page. There are lots of ways to interact with the show and lots of ways to get the show to your computer, iPhone or iPad, Android device, BlackBerry, whatever you use to listen to podcasts. We hope you check us out, and we'll be right back with the show review.
Take a look at it, learn to love it. I'm not going anywhere.
But yeah, the Danny Davis stuff being the star of that match pissed me off.
The six-man
Yes.
tag?
It's like, how do you screw up a match where 5 of the 6 people are the Hart Foundation, the Bulldogs, and Tito Santana? And they largely figured that out. Nobody wants to see these guys wrestle. Put a crooked referee in there. Everybody loves a crooked referee.
Who doesn't love a crooked referee?
I don't.
You hate wrestling.
Alright, let's actually get into it.
Alright.
Okay, so WrestleMania III. And this was infamously, 93,000 at the Pontiac Superdome. Or Pontiac Silverdome.
Let's see what you did there. Oh, please tell me that was... I know you were making an intentional joke there, but apparently not.
Hogan got me hung up. Just...
Jeez, bringing
around,
such
at
quality.
least stylized. But then again, I'm not like 70 years old, so.
Yep. I'm hosting with Hogan.
Tell you something,
I
brother.
never thought I'd live to see the day. Your one go-to wrestler voice impression?
Yeah,
It applies
exactly.
to like 8 different people?
Exactly. That's because it's so versatile.
Yeah. But hey, cheer up. We get to start things off with the Z-Man.
We actually start things off with Aretha.
Oh yeah, that's even better. If there's one thing better than the Z-Man, it's Aretha Franklin singing.
So you're just saying in life, if there's one thing better than Z-Man.
What?
Basically, like the Z-Man wrestling is the number 2 thing in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Just trying to get a baseline.
Man, fucking, did they show it yet, or was it after the Aretha Franklin thing that we get to see whatever the fuck it is Jesse Ventura is wearing?
I don't know.
I thought it was bad at Beach Blast, but he has managed to top himself.
Worst dresser, Jesse the Body or Jerry the King?
Jesse the Body.
So
By
you're
far.
saying you love those Affliction shirts?
No, I'm just saying I hate them less than giant alligator suits, a bandana, and big old ears.
See, that's where I gotta disagree. Jesse had style,
Jacket.
like his own warped sense of style, but
That doesn't make it good. It's terrible. Terrible. It was horrendous to look at.
you're just a hater.
I am. I'm just a hater. Hater, 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 hater.
Why'd you gotta hate on the Body?
Because he's a jackass?
Well, yeah, but that's why he stays in an undisclosed location in Mexico, so the drones can't get him.
Oh, man.
I could go on, but I'll be nice. Because I am a nice guy.
But stop. We have waited weeks for this moment. Weeks, I tell you. We shall delay it no longer. The Z-Man opening up WrestleMania.
Curtain jerking.
Man, how big would Can-Am Connection have gotten if Z-Man hadn't bolted?
My guess would be, I mean, they might have gotten the run that Strikeforce got, which obviously was used to kind of replace him. So they would have lasted another year before Martel turned heel on him.
I don't know. I think they could have been bigger than Strikeforce.
How? They didn't have girls in cars to help them.
Yet. And you don't need girls in cars when you have scientifically confirmed WCW's sexiest man, Tom Zank. That's science, all right? You can't dispute science.
It's something that's kind of ironic, though. I mean, until he actually pulled it off, like Martel was like the prototypical babyface. You know, turning him heel would have been like turning Steamboat heel. It's like, what? No.
Yeah. Yep.
And yet he's most remembered as a heel now.
Yeah. Yeah, that is weird. I look forward to seeing some of his AWA runs.
Yeah, speaking of, Network needs to get their shit together. We want AWA, we want Florida, we want Mid-South, damn it.
Do we want Florida?
Yes, we want Florida.
Do we want Florida? I was forced to sit through a Florida card with you once. Do we really want
You want the Florida TV, not necessarily the... You know, you want like Dusty and Gary Hart cutting promos on each other, not necessarily the matches that come out of it.
Well... Apparently, though, they are getting the Memphis stuff squared away.
Yeah, should be.
Which I'm excited about.
I wonder if it will be all of it or it's just... Because apparently, like, a lot of the footage that comes from it today, I remember hearing somewhere, comes from Jim Cornette.
I can't remember if it was Lawler in an interview.
Yeah, Lawler mentioned that like he was trying to put it together
He said it sounded like it was all of it.
because
Dude, get some good old Savage Mantell. I've seen like some of their work, and they were fantastic together.
see, I kind of like Cologne induction, including some of the Puerto Rico stuff. How about just like whoever, they let in Savage, they let in the Poffo family, and they put the Memphis Outlaw stuff in as part of that. Because that's the stuff that's supposed to be great, but then I don't know how much of it truly exists anymore.
Can I just say I would like it if they have all that footage together so we can get a really good like retrospective done on the Lawler shit, why am I gonna blank on his name now? God damn it.
Yeah, not real sure where you're going with this.
Man on the Moon, come on, I'm gonna fucking shoot myself. Oh, God.
Yay! that was mean. I apologize. That was over my line.
No, it wasn't. That was perfect for this show. Shit.
Yeah, that's perfect for you, but I'm the nice guy. You're the asshole.
Shit.
Why not just
Andy
oh,
Kaufman.
okay.
Andy Kaufman. Why? Oh my God.
Well, it's like
I
whenever
love
you started
Kaufman,
going
and that
Terry
just killed me.
Lawler, it's like what his stuff with. I actually didn't think Kaufman. It's like what his stuff with Funk, his stuff with Mantell,
Oh yeah, no. I was just thinking like a nice retrospective kind of thing, put together, all a sequence together of the Lawler Kaufman feud. And then we can induct Andy Kaufman into the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame, or the WWE Hall of Fame. That's a celebrity induction right there.
See, you mentioned Lawler Kaufman. I just want a really good, and admittedly, there are versions out there, online compilations, but I want a really good Lawler set.
Yeah. I'm surprised we haven't gotten
Well,
that.
they haven't had the Memphis footage. What are you gonna do?
It doesn't, I mean, didn't
Mid-card
Lawler
heel?
control enough of it? Didn't Lawler control enough of it that they could have put a Lawler package
I don't
together?
know. I know that the entire thing is like so murky just because, as I said, I mean, most of the footage that is out there came from Jim Cornette himself because he taped it every week.
Yeah, so I guess we'll see. A Lawler thing would be interesting, especially to kind of remind people that Lawler was in fact really awesome at one point.
Not hard to believe at all. I mean, yeah, maybe if you only know him as a thing, but I mean, a lot of the, even up to a few years ago, he was still, whenever he was occasionally pulled out and put in the right role, he was still doing pretty good work.
I know, but I don't think people actually truly understand the scale of how awesome Lawler was. Like, they get that he was a big deal and he was good, but how many people truly understand that, holy shit, like, Lawler was a top of the line performer?
And you know what, though? I mean, with a lot of the modern internet crowd, I don't know how well a lot of this stuff would play. Because he's not that dissimilar to Cena at Cena's best. His stuff definitely has a formula. His stuff definitely, he told a lot of the same stories, and he always went over.
San Martino gets praise.
As a worker, though,
Would that be really any different?
I don't think San Martino gets, I mean, from people that watch a lot of his stuff, I don't think he gets that kind of credit as a worker.
I think with San Martino, people put it in its appropriate era of what it was, and I think they would be able to do that with Lawler. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, it's probably definitely going to happen here.
Ooh.
God, though, I mean, Is it selfish of me to say that I want just more on WWE Network?
Yes, but that's not a bad thing. That's a good kind of selfish. Because I do too. I want to see some frickin' Bachwinkle Robinson, damn it. Is that too much to ask for?
You know, have like a night of nothing but like territorial and old wrestling. You know, yeah, they're doing the Raw replays every day and everything, but give me fucking WCW, you know, give me the pre-runner to WCW Saturday Night. Give me, as I said, Mid-South. Give me, you know, put it all in one night. Just do one episode a week. I'd be happy.
Hell, just give me some fucking Saturday night main event.
I don't care as much about that.
There's a lot of great matches from those.
I'd rather have the clashes myself, but you know.
Of course you would.
Yes. Because Flair versus Steamboat was on a clash. Flair versus Steamboat was never on a fucking Saturday night's main event.
No, but a lot of great Heart Foundation and Bulldogs.
All right, should we actually start talking about this show?
Yeah, I think we should. How can we get off track from the Z-Man?
Well, you know, we start talking about Memphis and Lawler and AWA stuff, so.
Yep. For shame. I'm disappointed in us.
But it's the Can-Am connection against Bob Orton and Don Morocco.
And you know, not bad for the time I got.
Not terrible, and you know, Morocco and Orton are both kind of definitely, I'd say, past their working primes at this point, but
Yeah, but they're in there with the Z-Man.
and frickin' Orton would be wrestling in NWA like 3 years later.
Yeah. Yeah. But this was a fun match. Good way to start off the show. Just super, super short, which is going to be a real theme for the evening.
And a lot of these for the better.
What? You don't want to see minis go at it with Bundy?
Bundy's someone that, especially now that we're getting some of the World Class stuff, I think had so much potential, but it just never quite worked out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he seems to have the size, the presence, and he's not terrible as far as the work goes at this point. He's just, I don't know.
Never really got the shot.
Well, I mean, he main evented WrestleMania II, which has to be like a major step down, even like WWE wise, going from the main event 1 year to second match duty the year later.
I'm sorry. But it is not a step down to be working with Little Tokyo and Lord Littlebrook, all right?
I looked, just kind of morbid curiosity, I went and looked at like the minis and stuff. I wanted to see what else they'd done. At this point, at this match, they all had like a combined age of like 100, and they were all like 50-ish.
Yeah. You couldn't tell?
Well, I mean, yes, that they were veterans.
They looked old, dude.
You know, it's like he pulled them out of the fucking retirement home.
just like imagining Vince lining up a bunch of minis and picking out the ones he wants to use.
Do you want to eat?
God. All right, we've got more time to talk about them later when their match actually comes up.
I take that back. They went to third. He was in third match.
Yeah, that's right.
I blocked out Billy Jack Haynes and Hercules.
How dare you doubt Billy Jack Haynes? Holy shit! Of all, you got Can-Am and Morocco and Orton gets 5 minutes. So what do? Give Hercules Hernandez and Billy Jack Haynes 7 or almost 8, practically 8.
Which isn't exactly a lot of real estate, but still probably too much.
Yeah, a bit too much for these guys.
You know, I'm pretty sure that we've had 8-minute matches where we've said at least it was short. But this match, yeah, was probably too long.
Yeah. Especially compared to everything else on this card. Lots of people got their pay-per-view bonuses.
Speaking of, knowing that it makes Rex happy, the Can-Am Connection won. So.
Yes, they did. The Z-Man lives on. Have you ever actually read some of his interviews, his shoot interviews?
Not his shoot interviews, but as I said, I'd read his blog before.
Oh, there's not necessarily shoot interviews, but some radio interviews where he just kind of just shoots all to hell. It is hilarious. It's the greatest thing ever. Z-Man's the best.
So you're a hero.
He is.
Even though he hates Triple H.
He's become my hero. You know what? I can live with that. I can live with
him making fun of Triple H's chicken legs.
Yes, I can. Which is the funniest thing of all time. Because Triple H's legs are pretty jacked.
Not to the Z-Man, brother.
Well, everyone's not jacked to the Z-Man. It's a high standard to live up to.
But yeah, Billy Jack Haynes and Hercules is bad.
Uh-huh. Yep. Next, let's talk some minis.
They go to a double count out, so we should probably mention that.
Yeah, oh yeah, it was even worse. They didn't have a freaking finish. Yeah.
And it's so funny, so many of these matches had such a similar finish. The heel cheats and goes over, and then the babyface, hits him afterwards and makes the crowd happy.
Yeah. Yeah. Not what you expect at WrestleMania when you think of it nowadays.
Yeah.
So now
you get the babyface going over, and then the heel attacking him after the match.
Mm-hmm. But now we get King Kong Bundy, Lord Littlebrook, Little Tokyo versus Hillbilly Jim, the Haiti Kid, and Little Beaver. Who doesn't love six-man action? Trios, baby, trios.
Not the good kind.
What are you talking about? This is the greatest match on the card.
As Haiti Kid, Little Beaver, Little Tokyo, and Lord Littlebrook, perhaps unsurprisingly, are all, I guess the proper term would be...
Little people?
Yes.
But it's wrestling, so they're minis.
Actually, no, it's 80s wrestling, so they're midgets.
Yeah, that's true.
And they're lucky that's all they were called, given Vince at the time.
Given the fact that Jesse Ventura was on commentary.
True.
It was it was quite an ethnically diverse group of minis.
Yes, yes. But, yeah, this was so pointless.
Especially because Ventura was just calling for Bundy to crush one of them, which he does. But that leads to the DQ, because apparently, Bundy and Hillbilly Jim aren't allowed to beat up on minis. It's apparently... yeah.
It's like the current mixed tag rules, only with little people.
Yep. And now we get a match 10 years too late.
Yeah, something like that. At least 5.
At least. Yeah. Yep.
But, yeah, it's a loser must bow match.
Yep.
Harley Race against
No,
Jay White.
whoa.
The King.
King Harley Race, alright? Come on now.
As he won a King of the Ring.
Yes, he did.
And not. So that was how he was named king, and not by wearing Affliction shirts. Just feels like I'm
Did it?
repeating my jokes tonight, but I don't care.
You mean just tonight?
Hey, fuck you, buddy.
You're not my buddy guy.
You're not my guy, pal.
I'm sure. I think I botched that, but whatever.
The spirit of the joke.
Yes, the spirit of the joke. So yeah, this was a nothing match.
What do you mean a nothing match? The loser had to bow.
Well, post-match there was action. In match, past their primes, Harley Race and Junkyard Dog going 3 minutes. It ends with a not pretty looking belly to belly.
True. Not much
And
fun.
Harley Race wins. King Harley Race, as I was.
But afterwards, JYD had to
Bow. Bow
he
before.
refused,
Kneel before Zod.
and he attacked him.
Yes, he did. With a chair.
And he made them their bitch like they were Jim Cornette's mama. There you go, some continuity.
Continuity.
Yes.
Yep. Man. So this is the next match is another one I felt could have been better if we got some time with it. Something to build up some damn momentum.
It was pretty short and kind of random, but I don't know. Given that I know that Greg Valentine did a lot of good, but given that like one of the people in the match was Brutus Beefcake, I don't know. I think the expectations would have to be tempered on the lower match. But yeah, it's them against the Rougeau brothers.
Yes.
And like, I think
Mobbed up, according to the Z-Man. Much like Dino was.
an incredibly kind of nonsensical match.
Yeah. Because wasn't like Dream Team breaking up at this point?
Yes. Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, given what happened, like, the next match, but... So they win, but then break up anyway.
No sense.
And...
And yeah.
But it allowed Beefcake to find his true passion in life, so,
Cutting hair.
Of course.
Yep. It was a touching moment.
Yeah. This match was...
I gotta say, it's better than I thought it was gonna be.
The hair match?
Yeah. Oh, were you still talking about the tag match?
Yeah. Although they all kind of carry that same... So much of the show is just like, yeah, I don't know.
Get them in, get them out.
Everybody need their payday, and they didn't have 5 hours to do it like they do now.
No pre-show. But I don't know. Well, I mean, what sense did it make to have them win and then break up?
Knowing Vince's logic at the time is probably that the Rougeaus were about to turn heel anyway. Seeing as how they were going to join up with Jimmy Hart within, wasn't it within like a year from there?
I think it was the end of that summer.
Okay. So yeah, a few months
But
later.
don't quote me on that.
That sounds about right. But Yeah, who the fuck knows? Or maybe it was just that now that Beefcake was turning babyface, they needed to have him look strong.
I
Again,
guess.
I don't.
No.
Yeah. But sure, we can go to the hair versus hair match. Not exactly a lucha classic.
No. No. But, it was passionate.
It was short,
Yep.
like everything else on the show, including the good. Pretty much, it was,
Yeah, and, this was a big deal feud at the time.
despite the fact that Adonis at this point was not exactly prime Adrian Adonis.
No.
Not exactly in fighting shape.
No. It's not exactly an Adonis at this point.
So, yeah, it's short. Adonis goes to sleep, and because they need someone to administer the haircut, here comes
The beefcake.
yes, here comes Brutus Beefcake, everybody's favorite.
He is your favorite, isn't he?
Oh, you know it. You can tell by the conviction in my voice.
I can. I mean, I see your rankings of like favorite wrestlers. It's like Flair, Beefcake, Steamboat Luger,
Where's Bobby Eaton?
Bobby Eaton. I knew there was one else forgetting. Knew there was someone.
Pillman too.
And then Mang.
Of course.
And then Mang kills them all and becomes the top dog.
And then kills us for the t-shirt. You use my image?
Oh my god, I forget where is his dealership at.
Somewhere in Florida.
If I ever go to Florida, my goal is to walk in there with that shirt on. It's my life's goal. But hey, we get some decent tag action next. Who are you to doubt? Danny Davis.
It's something that should be much better than it actually ends up being. Partially for time reasons. The other part is you take the two best tag teams in the company, bar none, in the Hart Foundation and the Bulldogs. You put one of them with a very, very capable worker in Tito Santana. You put the other one
With the greatest of all time, Danny Davis. He makes Steamboat look like a scrub.
and you make the entire story of the match about Danny Davis.
Well, yeah. What part of the greatest of all time did you not understand?
And that's the thing. I mean, there are worse matches on this card, but I don't know if there were any that I disliked as much because it's like, oh, hell yeah. And then compared to what we actually got,
It was a tease.
it was. Bastards.
That's why I said we need some of those Saturday main event stuff on there. That's why you should care. Care. You've seen the clashes a million times.
And they're always good.
Always good.
Well,
Come on, Mike. Stop. Just stop.
there's always something good, even if it's not.
Always. There's got to be a clash of probably a few, considering there's enough of them, where there's not something that's worth watching.
I don't know. Maybe. Maybe there's a couple of all bad ones.
Oh, I know what the Z-Man stuff I wanted to bring up when I was talking about the shoot interview stuff. We're going back to the Z-Man, as we always should.
Of course we are.
I was reading this great interview. It was like an old radio interview from like 2000, and he was talking about how how he thought the Rhodes were complete doofuses, and that the greatest and most popular and most important they ever were was in polka dots and it has gold dust. As he sits there and praises McMahon for putting them in their proper place.
Well, apparently a lot of that stuff has to go with the fact that whenever kind of Dusty came in and
Z-Man screwed out.
pretty much, yeah, that like he was TV champion and he lost it pretty much immediately to Arn, who was someone that was very much in Dusty's camp, and
Mm-hmm.
you know,
And I do appreciate the Z-Man where he just sits there and talks about that he doesn't miss wrestling. He misses the money associated and the babes. He brings up the babes. No, the Z-Man. What's not to love?
but yeah, the finish on this 6-man sucked.
Mm,
Mega.
what? What are you talking about?
Well, I don't love megaphone shots.
What's not to love about Danny Davis using a megaphone? You, sir, hate pro wrestling. That's the only conclusion I can reach.
Do I?
Yes.
Shit, I didn't know that.
Because Danny Davis hitting someone with a megaphone is the most pro wrestling thing ever.
No, it's the most WWF 80s thing ever. I have no problem admitting that I don't like WWF 80s. Give me a tennis racket, damn it. If he'd hit him with the tennis racket, it would have been great.
God. You can let go of Cornette's nuts now.
When am I not? You act like this is a new development.
I know, that's what I'm saying. You can let go of him now. It's been long enough.
Just who I am, man. But yeah, as I said, I mean, while the match had some decent stuff going on, I kind of hated where it went.
Yeah, it did have some decent stuff. Everything involving Danny Davis.
What, they show those fucking Heart Foundation and Bulldogs how to work?
Yes, he does. Where do you think they learned? They learned from Davis. Thought you knew that.
He's not even the
It's
good
obvious.
Danny Davis. Of course, the good Danny Davis was last seen on Impact, so I don't know if you can really call him the good Danny Davis either.
Hey, but we get a Hall of Famer next.
Coco Beware.
Yes. The go-to. Well, Coco Beware is in the hall. Anyone can get in.
The Jim Rice of wrestling. Should we explain that for anybody who doesn't follow baseball?
Go ahead.
All right. Jim Rice, well, probably not the worst person in the Baseball Hall of Fame, is like the most recent inductee of someone who really had no business being there and only really got there because of like
And there we go. Story told.
I was going to say why.
Okay, go.
Because he played for the Red Sox and because there was enough politicking involved to get him the numbers.
Yep. Fucking Red Sox.
Yeah, so Coco Beware against the natural Butch Reed.
Next.
Yeah, this is not good. This is a waste of Butch Reed.
This is a waste of Coco Beware.
I've actually had some people recommend to me a Butch Reed compilation that I might end up checking out. Like mostly from like his Central State days and things like that. So
yeah. Speaking of compilations, you know it'd be fun to do an episode of?
Which one?
The Savage compilation.
I mean, it's Savage. It's all gonna be awesome.
Exactly.
Be better to do like a custom compilation of like a really shitty wrestler. Maybe Good Helmet did like a best of.
A
Van
compilation of
Hammer.
TN games. But
El,
yeah, this
El Gigante's greatest hits.
they just send you a blank DVD. So yeah,
The exact same finish that we've seen a little bit before. Heel cheats to win, faces get over at the end.
yeah. And Tito Santana got involved.
Yes. And Slick gets stripped. So from there, it's this match, Honky Tonk Man versus Jake the Snake.
Yeah.
Yeah, not skipping anything.
No, I mean, there was just some stupid little match there. It's not even worth talking about.
Are you sure? Mine went straight from Coco Beware to Honky Tonk versus Jake Roberts.
Oh, well, the network saved you then. It's skipped over something really stupid.
What was it? Just so I know.
I don't know. Mr. Brony, Savage, and I don't know, some little twerp named Steamboat.
Did that hurt you to say?
Yes, actually it did.
I could kind of hear it in your voice. Some jabroni savage. You're just like fighting the words out.
A piece of me died there.
But yeah, I mean, even this match is one where it's like it doesn't run that long.
Well, in comparison to everything else on this card, it was a freaking 60-minute man iron match.
Well, it's like twice as long as anything else but the main event, but whenever everything else is like 7 minutes, the fact that it runs almost 15 isn't exactly.
And it was a fast and furious 15.
Yes.
God, I love this match so much. Even with the involvement of George the Animal Steel.
And, you know, there are like some things about it. I've actually seen a little bit of backlash against it.
I think with anything that gets as much praise as it does, there's going to be backlash.
Well, a lot of the stuff that I've kind of seen is just that the structure is kind of a little off, that it doesn't quite, you know, it does kind of have its own structure compared to a lot of the other stuff that you see, but I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing.
No.
You know, it doesn't have to be like Savage's other matches or Steamboat's other matches.
No, it was its own little thing, which was nice. And I think the dumbest line of criticism, and we've talked about this on the show before in relation to other stuff, is, oh, it was pre-planned. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck if they practiced the shit out of this match? Good for them. Guess what? The end result turned out amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. No.
That's why a lot of the Savage DDP stuff was really good, you know, when Savage was well past his prime. Because you had two guys that were meticulous about planning shit out and practicing it.
Yep, absolutely. And yeah, I mean, some really great minutes here. Storytelling, and with that, I mean, I don't think it hurt. I mean, it's kind of, he knew his role in the match.
Yep. I gotta say, my favorite bit in this match is Steamboat skinning the cat, and then Savage just knocking him over the ropes anyway. I love that bit.
Not the ring bell stuff, because I that's just like, and it's so good because, you know, it's obvious, you know, anybody who kind of knows it all knows kind of the story of the match and how that was used in the build. So it's not exactly the most subtle reference, but I mean, still, I'm a sucker for stuff like that.
Yeah, continuity from what, like 6 months ago?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, it was great. It was a great bit. I just loved it, though. It was like, it was sort of like turning over the typical skinning the cat stuff, and he just was like, oh, fuck you.
Well, yeah, that's Savage's usual response to anything.
Yeah, that's right.
Fuck you.
Yep. And, you know, I gotta say, commentary did a great job throughout the match putting over how great Savage's run was, even with them saying, like, listen, he's resorted to cheating and all this. But he's a badass motherfucker, and has been kicking ass left and right.
Any issue at all with the finish?
No.
I know a lot of people don't like roll-up finishes.
No, I thought it kind of worked here.
See, I don't necessarily know if it worked better. I don't have a major issue with it, but I also, at the same time, don't necessarily know if it would have worked better than, Savage or Steamboat hitting his finisher and coming away with a more definitive victory.
I don't know.
Great,
I don't know because
great input.
because I don't remember much of honestly what the fallout was like coming where they each went in the immediate aftermath of this and how they played it off.
Steamboat drops it like 2 months later to Honky Tonk at a TV taping. So yeah, it wasn't exactly the best fallout.
Yeah, and
then Savage turns face by Summer, and then is champion the next year.
yeah, so I do feel like it was something to try and keep Savage looking strong. But I didn't have a problem with it. It was a great match.
Yeah.
I mean, in any great match, anything really, you're going to be able to nitpick stuff at. I'd be curious, where do you rank it in terms of WrestleMania matches?
Probably top 5.
Mm-hmm.
My one is probably Bret Owen.
No, that's right. You're much bigger on the Hart Austin Survivor Series match as opposed to their Mania match.
Yes. But that one would be up there. I mean, just not necessarily one.
I think I might have that one. Shit. I don't know. My instinctual reaction was to say this would be 2 behind it, but I'm thinking maybe even the ladder match at 2.
I could see that, although, as we kind of had that talk, I mean, I honestly kind of think I liked the Survivor Series ladder match perhaps even a little more. SummerSlam, yes.
See, and I think you're wrong in that opinion.
Perhaps.
I think it's the wrongest you've ever been.
No, it's definitely not the wrongest I've ever been. I know I've been wrong on other stuff.
Yeah, you're right. Your hatred of Triple H.
No, that's where I'm right. That is where I'm.
God, and the Hart that thing actually almost had eclipsed my, forgotten about. Shit. Now I'm curious, what would be your top 5? Just your grouping, your top 5. What would be that 5th match? I'm assuming ladder match and Hart Austin or the other up there.
Just off the top of my head, maybe. Well, fuck, I'm forgetting. I actually completely didn't realize my actual one.
What?
Warrior Savage.
Really?
Yes. Only good thing on that show, really.
That would be your number 1 WrestleMania match of all time?
Yes.
Wow. Swerve.
So, yeah, that would probably be my top 5, with some of the other ones that you could kind of make a case for. Kurt Eddy at 20.
Oh, yeah.
God, I'm trying to think of some of the later ones that I really liked.
Taker HBK.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course, I know you're about to go, but fuck that.
They're better than the Taker Triple H matches. I mean, that might be my only. Now, I mean, the one that obviously gets all the praise that I don't like at all, as far as that goes. Those aren't even like the Triple H or the HBK matches that would fit that. That'd be HBK Angle. Hate that match.
Really?
Just like, that is the example of like the most self-indulgent, bloated. It's like the match that Triple H masturbates to at night about.
I don't know what I'm watching later.
So you can masturbate as well.
It's actually not the response I was trying to elicit out of you.
Well, I get picked next week, so, you know.
No, but I thought your fire back was gonna go, oh, you're gonna watch Triple H masturbate, huh? I was trying to set you up, man.
Sorry. I still like I went in a different way. I don't necessarily think I went in a bad way.
I'm trying to think what are some other ones. See, I'm glad you didn't mention one of the Austin Rock things.
Yeah, I think 17 is their best, but I'd put that on that next tier.
Yeah. I think we're in agreement on that. You know what I need to watch and I haven't watched in forever?
What?
It's the Lesnar Angle WrestleMania match.
Yeah, that was one. I don't really think I've seen it. Obviously, save the finish, the botched shooting star, like since it aired. Well, since a couple days after it aired, because as kind of I've infamously said, I turned it off that night. I did not watch the main event live.
I don't even remember what the main event for that one was.
It was Angle Lesnar.
Oh, that was the main
Yes,
event?
I turned it off after Triple H Booker.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I've said it before on the show.
I don't think I don't recall you saying anything like that.
I'm almost sure I have. Readers, if I haven't, let me know, but I think I have. Yeah, that finish pissed me off so much that I just I didn't watch the rest of it.
Maybe we'll have to watch that sometime.
You really want me to rant and rave?
Honestly, I kind of want them to put the SmackDown up that has their Iron Man match. Because I love that match.
It's up.
Is it? Hallelujah.
I watched it like a little bit ago. Well, a few weeks ago, but you know.
Oh. Yes. Yes. All right. Sweet. I'm excited now. I'm going to have to go watch that.
So, and after that, we've got our main event. No, wait, no, we don't. We have two more matches.
No, we don't. Two more?
Yes.
Oh, I thought we just had one more.
No, we've got two matches and then the main event.
Shit, there were so many matches.
There are. And it was like even back then they were using the buffer matches. Number 1, Honky Tonk Man versus Jake the Snake Roberts.
Yep.
And
but it's got Alice Cooper, so.
Well, and this was kind of the point where Roberts was never really the same. Because Honky Tonk Man hit him with a non-gimmick guitar.
Oh, yeah.
And by his own account, that's what sent him down. You know, a lot of his drug use was because he didn't take any time off, even though he seriously injured himself. And so he self-medicated from that, and then from just physically being beaten down and being strung out, his ring work was really never the same.
Yep.
Yeah, and so after all that, and after, especially in hindsight, you know, it took probably years off Robert's life and years off his career, they give him 7 minutes.
Yep.
And Honky Tonk goes over.
Yep.
Again, manager interferes. Heel gets the win. Faces get retribution after the match.
Yeah. It's almost like there's a pattern.
Kinda, yeah.
Yep. Nothing really of note to talk about. Otherwise, you hit the major point.
And Honky Tonk wins, and he'll go on, as I said, shortly thereafter to be Intercontinental Champion.
God, I still don't get that one to this day.
I don't know.
But yeah.
And then after that, we get a match that's more infamous for an insane Iranian's rantings 20 years after than for the actual match. As we get the infamous
Oh, yes.
break your back, fuck your ass, and make you humble match.
Yep.
As it's the Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov against the Killer Bees.
Oh, Sheiky baby. God, was this bad?
And that entire thing, like that, I don't even remember what it was initially, if it was like a Howard Stern interview or what. That match, or that kind of statement about B. Brian Blair is basically given Iron Sheik, you know, relevance as a psycho on the internet.
I don't know what's more scary. The thought that Shiki is actually really just that fucking crazy, or that he has cultivated this persona and is actually like a mad scientist genius behind it all.
My general feeling is that it was probably originally done because he was probably rather high. And since then, he's just played off the character. I don't know. I don't think it's necessarily all of who he is, but I think it's probably part of him that comes out whenever he has a little too much cocaine.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Especially considering, like, at the time that initial stuff kind of came out. I want to say, like, he was supposed to be on Raw one week and he was sent home because he was no condition to perform.
You know how much coke you have to do to be in no condition to perform at a pro wrestling event? Like, enough to, like, kill 8 horses.
Oh, that sounds like a challenge to Shiki, baby.
uh, but yeah, match sucked.
Yeah. Well, it was It's forgettable, like most of the show.
Yep.
But the main event was absolutely not forgettable. Not necessarily, not for being a great match.
Because it's not.
No. Is it as bad as, like, it was named the worst match of the year in that year's Observer. I don't think it's that bad.
It's not that bad, but it is really bad.
Yeah, it's at the same time, you're like, yeah, that's not me defending it, just saying that, like, and I guess is the kind of like me with Triple H stuff, the exact opposite of what Meltzer likes to see. But it's not like a negative 4-star match like he initially gave it.
Yeah. He also gave Savage Steamboat 4.5. Screw that shit.
He also, so far this year, his top-rated WWE match is the Triple Threat at WrestleMania, which I don't agree with at all.
What?
His top-rated WWE match for the year so far is the Triple Threat at WrestleMania.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought he gave Brian Wyatt 4.5 too.
I'm pretty sure he gave him 4.25.
Jeez, I know he shortchanged the tag match big time. Yeah. I feel like he's just intentionally trying to piss people off.
Maybe he's just got his own opinion, man. Which I've been ragging on. Which, But yeah, it's Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant for the title. Build-up had been for months there, and it was about largely a simple storyline. Could Hulk pick Andre up?
Mm-hmm.
And spoiler alert, he does.
He does.
Honest.
And Andre has gotten heavier over the years, according to Hogan.
Pretty sure now he was 2 tons and filled with gold bullion.
That was actually kind of a joke I made in my Andre the Giant Battle Royal preview, because I did it as Hogan. And each time he mentioned slamming Andre the Giant, the weight just goes up and up.
But yeah, this was not awesome 70s Andre. This was very bad Andre.
Yes.
Sad to see Andre.
Yeah, and shit, they used him as a regular character for what, like 3 more years after this?
He was champion like a year later, wasn't he?
Kinda. Like that Saturday night's main event, where they let Savage take it because Hogan went off to film cinematic masterpiece, No Holds Barred.
Yep. It truly is the greatest film of all time.
Maybe that's what we should review one week.
No holds barred.
Yes.
Might as well.
Stan Hansen.
God, how great would that be if that was on the network?
It should be, damn it. I'm surprised. Maybe they just don't have the rights. I'm surprised like the WWE movies aren't on there. Maybe it's like a once a week kind of thing, you know? Sunday nights could be movie nights whenever it's not time for a quote unquote special event.
Oh.
But yeah, I mean, you pretty much know how I'm probably going to go on this, but thumbs up or thumbs down for WrestleMania 3?
I mean, you gotta give it a thumbs up.
You gotta?
You gotta, just based on the historical significance of the event. It's got the Z-Man.
Hitler was historically significant. He does not get a thumbs up from me.
He gets a thumbs up to watch. You need to know. You need to be aware of Hitler and watch documentaries on him. It's got the Z-Man. That's an automatic thumbs up, all right? Aretha Franklin singing. Savage Steamboat. I mean, even if it's not a great match, you need to watch on Hogan Andre. It's such a watershed moment. Danny Davis. I mean, come on. Are you really gonna give this a thumbs down?
I'm going thumbs down.
Wow.
You've
jumped the shark, Mike.
There's just not enough worthwhile for this 3-hour show. So much of it is not good. I make no regrets. Alright, so MVP and LVP. Lots of candidates for both, obviously.
Yeah, I mean...
Although it's your pick, so shouldn't I technically get...
Yeah, you should. Go first.
Alright, so my MVP is the goddamn Macho Man.
Alright.
My LVP... I kind of feel like saying Tom Zink right now just to troll you, but...
How dare you, LVP my MVP?
No, my LVP is going to be... Oh, there's so many choices. Screw it. Hillbilly Jim.
What? Seriously? Hillbilly Jim?
Like...
Of everything in this? Hillbilly Jim?
That was such a terrible match.
Some of the bright spots just involved him getting in there. Oh my god, really? Hillbilly Jim?
I'm gonna stick with the Hillbilly, yeah.
Of all the things that actually put in bad performances, Hillbilly Jim. Wow.
Deal with it.
God, I just want to make Hillbilly Jim my MVP. Alright, my MVP is Tom Zank. Just kidding, it's obviously the Steam Man. Honorary MVP to Tom Zank, the Z-Man. My LVP is going to Billy Jack Haynes. So yeah, that's that.
All right. So next week, I am in control.
God damn it. Early 90s WCW, here we come.
Actually, no.
Mid-90s WCW, here we come. Oh, correction, 80s WCW, here we come.
No. We are going to go right into the midst of the SmackDown 6
Oh,
for what is probably the best single brand pay-per-view in WWE history. We are doing No Mercy 2002.
Interesting. Interesting indeed.
Wait, is that the right one? Yeah.
God damn it. Please tell me you what? Ugh.
Oh, it's the right show, but I am wrong. It's not a single brand, I don't think.
No, there's Triple H.
No. God damn it. It's still, though, it's despite that match, it's still pretty good. All right. I'm gonna keep my fuck up in there just because I always keep my fuck ups in there.
It does have the Hell in a Cell.
Yes. Love that match.
All right.
And after
And it's got
WrestleMania,
Triple
I
H.
felt like we could use a good Brock Lesnar Undertaker match. So there, I don't pick all the same shows, Mr. Jerkface. Although I have to be honest, I had a hard time. I was considering Halloween Havoc 90.
God. Seriously?
I was.
You son of a bitch. Alrighty, let's get on out of here.
Alright, you got anything going on this week?
No. Got too much writing for school to do.
Alright, one last little thing. Apparently on the network, it's going to be on Ring of Honor, their website this Thursday, but I just kind of got to say it. I mean, it's not necessarily like a great show, but Veda Scott's dress, it makes it worth a watch.
I actually need to catch up on my ROH. I am behind.
The Styles Elgin show was really good. The one afterwards.
What? Wait. Is there a big butt in there because it involves Michael Elgin?
No, I mean the match.
I know how much you hate Michael Elgin.
No, we've had this discussion. I do not hate Michael Elgin. I think he's repetitive.
Bullshit, you hate Michael Elgin. Admit it, you hate him. Because you were jealous of his illustrious, long and flowing.
I mean, the match has such a clear bullshit ending, but
mullet.
You know.
Mullet. So what's on this coming up?
It's Silas Young against R.D. Evans.
Ooh.
And then the Ciampa Lethal 2 out of 3 falls match.
Oh, please tell me that's phenomenal.
Eh.
Oh, damn it.
Well, I mean, it's such a weird... Anytime you kind of have like a heel turn mid-match, it's going to be kind of a weird finish.
Spoiler.
Oh well, spoiler.
I'm just
I'm pretty sure like anybody who follows Ring of Honor enough to watch it on TV knows that happened.
Yep.
You know, I doubt there's anybody who's not following the shows and it's still like, you know, I didn't go get results of the anniversary show because it might show up on TV. But I mean, the match it doesn't really flow. You might like it a little more than I did, but to me, it kind of felt like it didn't flow as great.
I have to check it out because I like those two, and I thought their first match was really good.
I don't really like Lethal, so.
What?
Not current Lethal.
What?
This Lethal that seems like current ROH run Lethal is lazy as shit. I prefer TNA Lethal, and God knows
yeah.
There's
That hurts.
there's like the one there's a one case where TNA version is better.
Yes.
Dude, that's a guy that he's still young enough. He really should get a shot with WWE. He'd be so perfect. And then they could redo him and Flair.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say they could redo him and AJ.
Just start a rumor. AJ keeping Lethal out of WWE.
Or he resigns and all of a sudden Punk comes back.
Oh man. All right, let's get on out of here.
Okay. All right, so for Rex, this is Mike. This has been episode number 57 of Off the Top Rope of Wrestling podcast. Be sure to tune in next week where we'll be talking the news of the week, which hopefully will involve a better Raw than this week, as well as our event, which is No Mercy 2002, which was dual branded, but still pretty great.
But it has a severe lack of the Z-Man.
It does. It does. See, now if I would have picked Halloween Havoc 90, that would have had Z-Man.
This is true. We should just do a Z-Man compilation.
Oh. But, yeah, we'll see you next week, everybody.
Later, folks.